Hello, hello. So it's been a while since I have been here talking with you. It has been a hot minute, and I hope you're all doing super well at the moment. I have been busy doing a lot of client facing work, which has meant not enough time to work on my own stuff. This is an ongoing issue. I have the leaky tap problem of the plumber. But I'm here and I am turning up for you today. And I just want to share what we've been up to here in the office and in the studio. I've been doing a lot of work around strategy for clients, their brand strategy, particularly a lot of work around their brand identity. And if you don't know what that is, brand identity work is much more than just your products or your services or your logo or, your colors or any of that kind of stuff. It comes down to the core of who you are as a person. And if you are trying to sell any kind of service, any kind of product, you need to understand who you are first and foremost. Even if you are really good at what you do and you are able to deliver it beautifully, a lot of the time the brand identity work is at the core of how you can start to really level up in your business and how you start to differentiate yourself from everybody else out there who can do similar kind of work. And it also helps you to really dive into your work in a very different way where you can come at it with a lot more purpose, a lot more intentionality around why you do this work in the first place. For a number of my clients, I've been finding that they've been in work for a while, they've been doing their business for a while, and they've been hitting a bit of a rut. And they're not sure of how to kind of get through that, or they want to launch something brand new that they've been percolating on for a while, but they don't quite know how to do that. So a lot of the time that comes back down to your brand identity and how you are positioning yourself out there in the world. And a lot of people miss this step. They just go straight to, how can I package my offers? How can I make a pretty website? Can we make some pretty photos? And I'm like, we can make photos, but we need to understand the why behind it. I don't want to just make photos just for the sake of it. And the same goes for all the other stuff, is that if you don't have this set up and clear, then the rest of it is really going to be a bit of a slog, and you'll get to the end of doing all of that hard work and it won't convert. It won't convert and it won't translate. And then you'll be looking around going, why did it not convert? What's going on? Why is it not working? And it's not working because it's not synced with your brand identity, your personal brand identity. It's who you are. It's what makes you up to be who you are. It's the narratives that you're talking about and you obsess about and that make you who you are. They are the schema of your subconscious and your sense of being and how you articulate that and make sense of it with the world. And with brands and in businesses, when we don't do that work, it's almost like we kind of tick the boxes and get all the other stuff right and sorted, but it's not quite right. It doesn't have the right inflection. It doesn't have the right connotation to it. It's like we go so far with the kind of marketing and processes that we do in our businesses, but we don't go just that step further that could make all the difference. And to be honest, life is changing a lot out there in the world at the moment. Over the last couple of years since COVID, things have changed immensely. And I was having this conversation with my coach today, in that, we need to step things up in a way that we haven't done before. And so that's what I've been dealing with my clients in our strategy sessions. We go through a whole series of, looking back at their history, of their background, not just their work background, but their personal background, because your identity is more than just your work. Your identity comes back to the mask that you wear, the person who you are. And we go through that. We go through what are the common themes and trends and threads that follow them everywhere they go. And there are common threads. And given my neurospiciness, I can actually pick those things really quickly for people and see them clear as day. And sometimes you're too close to it. So these brand strategy sessions have been pretty epic. I've been loving doing these because it just ignites something really cool and different for people to think about for their business and gets them on a different wavelength of how they can start to set themselves up differently, set the foundations up differently so that they can make the most out of the rest of this year and beyond. So, yeah, these brand strategy sessions have been massive over the last few months. And to be honest, I've probably been working on them a lot more than I have been photography work. Photography work I'm still doing and certainly available for people if they want to do headshots or brand photography work. But I want to do the strategy work first because that's the stuff that's going to set you up beautifully for the future. So that's what I've been doing. The other thing that I've been doing is I realized, well, I've been talking about it for quite some time, but I have started to really make it more vocal with the people around me that I think that I need to explore more what my actual neurospiciness is. And I suspect that I have got a duality of things going on. And I don't know why this surprises me given what's in my background, literally in my background right now, the video. I'm a little bit quirky. I'm a little bit, you know how things are so close to you that you don't always notice. And you say these things, but you don't really know that you're saying them until you actually really know you're saying them. Yeah, that's what is happening for me at the moment. I've suspected for quite some time that I had definitely ADD and some other things going on. So I'll share with you as I go through this process. It's going to be an interesting one. I'll see how much I can share at different times because the idea of sharing this can be quite vulnerable as well. But I'd love to hear from others out there that are listening to this. Have you been on your own journey with this? I'm sure that there's a number of you out there, particularly if you follow me, then you most likely are on the spectrum yourself. I'm just in the early stages of, getting referrals and reaching out to people and just discovering what's in my toolbox and what makes me up to be who I am and my own identity work, literally working on my own identity work at the moment. That's where I'm at the moment. That's what I've been doing. I hope to get back here and talk with you again, not leave it another couple of months before I actually reach out. I hope you're doing well and I will be talking with you soon.